Cast your memory back to the floppy-fringed winter of 1994. The Mac crowd had already been terraforming pixel valleys for weeks, but for DOS devotees, February brought the real event. The first PC boxes of SimCity 2000, a sequel so supersized it made its 1989 predecessor feel like a cardboard model left out in the rain. Classic or bizarre? It's both, and gloriously so. This is the city builder that treats water pipes like arterial lifelines, lets you legalize gambling on a Tuesday, and then smites your skyline with a UFO by Friday. Overhyped? Only if you hate God games, grid snapping, or the wide-eyed optimism that 21st century arcologies would end suburban sprawl. Underhyped? Ask the teachers who walked into computer labs hoping to see WordPerfect and instead found students raising sales taxes to bankroll fusion plants. Fundamental? Absolutely. Its isometric diorama, socioeconomic depth, and cheeky in-game newspaper remained template DNA for every builder that followed. Negligible? Not unless you consider a simulation that taught millions the meaning of millage rates. A footnote. Rhetorical question. Did I ever read past the llamas in the SimCity Courier? Self-answer. Only long enough to raise sanitation funding and bulldoze the stadium I'd accidentally placed on a bus route. Historical context. By the early 90s, Maxis had discovered a gold vein labeled software toy. SimCity had already infiltrated classrooms and coffee tables, while Cement and Simearth explored micro and macro life with equal earnestness. Yet the original SimCity looked flat, disasters fizzled into number shuffles, and every road met every other at right angles. Will Wright and lead coder Fred Haslam wanted their follow-up to feel like a living topographic model. Hills should force tunnels, water should flood, and skylines should cast shadows. They scrapped the orthogonal grid for a 3/4 isometric engine nicknamed Player, added a 256 color palette, built terraforming brushes that respect altitude, and, crucially, crammed the whole thing into a DOS executable lean enough to run on a 386 with 4 megabytes RAM. Mac users got first dibs in December 1993, but DOS boxes reached shelves 2 months later, February 1994, still under the Max's banner. Console ports and later anthology packs would rope in Electronic Arts, but the PC original flew solo. The packaging beamed optimism. A rainbow skyline, a bullet list promising arcologies, subways, ordnance sliders, and realistic water systems. At my neighborhood pizza parlor Land Nook XP Arcade, one battered 486 DX2 wore a post-it, SimCity 2000 DONOTDELET. Every afternoon, a new mayor paved over the last kid's failed downtown, tweaking mill taxes while sipping Mr. Pibb. Context mattered. Windows 3.1 reigned, but lacked a native blockbuster. VGA still owned the color crown, and rival studios chased eye candy over depth. Doom redefined first-person speed. Bullfrog Syndicate made cybernetic violence stylish, yet SimCity 2000 carved its niche by fusing toy box whimsy with dry civic arithmetic. It was the first entertainment product many teachers bought with grant money, and the first game I played that shipped with a spiral-bound urban planning primer. Mechanics. The tilted plane of possibility. Fire up a new region, and you're greeted by a rolled parchment of topography. River Snake, Foothills Crest, and the isometric tilt makes even flatland feel sculptural. Terraform with the raised lower brush, and watch tile faces swap grass for dirt. Dig a canyon, and water rushes in, darkening from cobalt shallows to navy depths. Height isn't cosmetic. Water pumps lose efficiency at altitude, wind turbines gain it, and steep terrain jacks road costs to punitive levels. Planning a hillside suburb demands tunnels or switchbacks. Cheap mayors bulldoze peaks flat, but pay the environmental piper in earthquake damage later. Wires, pipes, and the sacred bus depot. Every city starts with electricity. Coal is dirty and cheap, oil is cleaner but pricey, hydro is free yet terrain locked, nuclear is efficient but meltdown prone, fusion appears in 2050 like a sci-fi bribe. Beneath that framework lies the water grid. Toggle shift P and a blue-white schematic fills the screen. Neglect pipes and brown no H2O bubbles sprout above houses, hammering land value. I once ran a dry city challenge and survived by importing water at triple the rate, then watched property values crater faster than my high school GPA. Transport, though, births my absurd leitmotif, the bus depot. One 3x3 square, price tag $250. Blue icon you could spot from orbit. Drop a depot and surrounding traffic heat maps, cool like someone cut a commute length vein. Meet budgets with bus plus rail and your highway grid can stay lean. Ignore public transit and congestion icons redden until only a tax hike or a sacrificial sports complex will appease commuters. The bus depot became my test piece. Wherever I planted it, the simulation revealed its hidden arteries. Place it by a stadium and retail soared. Bury it in industrial sprawl and residents complained of diesel fumes even as unemployment vanished. Ordinances, bureaucracy, as minigame opened the ordinance panel and the city morphs from sandbox to civics lab. Approve a fire tax to beef up engine coverage. Watch polls dip but insurance premiums fall. Legalize gambling and cash pours in. Crime ticks upward and the Courier prints scathing editorials. No other 90s game lets you toggle anti-drug campaigns, youth curfews, parking fines, and nuclear-free zones with such immediate visible feedback. My junior year government teacher once split us into lobby groups and made us justify which ordinances we'd spike or pass. The debate ended only when a kid showed the class how youth curfews stifle nightlife revenue enough to bankrupt his pixel bars. Arcologies, aliens, and other singularities hit year 2000, amass the cash, and the Arco icons illuminate. Plymouth's brutalist ziggurat packs 55,000 residents. Forest arcs swallow 35,000 green space zealots. Darko monoliths house 120,000 corporate drones under moody purple glass, and the glittering launch Arco crams 65,000 dreamers into pre-flight hibernation pods. Drop 4 launch Arcos, and at January 2150, they rocket skyward in a puff of flame, taking your tax base and civic dreams with them. The Courier runs a headline, "Good luck, we'll miss you," and any mayor with a heart sheds a single pixel tear while watching revenue collapse. Disasters are back bigger. Fires spread tile to tile. Earthquakes fold terrain. Meltdowns carve radioactive craters. The random UFO event fries highways with green beams, scattering traffic sprites like ants under a magnifying glass. Each calamity doubles as stress tests. Do you have the hydrants, the disaster relief cash, the foresight to store an emergency fund instead of splurging on an ego-boosting mayor's mansion, newspapers, and data layers? Every month a clickable broadsheet pops up, full of llama jokes but also actionable intel. Water boards threaten rationing, scientists tout satellite power, citizen groups protest freeway noise. Ignore the paper, and you'll miss ordinance requests or civic score milestones. Meanwhile, data map overlays, crime, land value, traffic, pollution, power grid let you hover a citywide MRI over your isometric sculpture. Seeing traffic veins glow crimson at 5 p.m. taught me more about bottlenecks than any civil engineering lecture. Legacy and influence SimCity 2000 moved over 1 million copies by 1996 and etched Sim as a permanent prefix in the gaming vernacular. Critics gushed. Computer Gaming World awarded a perfect 5. PC Gamer an unheard of 96%. University courses adopted it. NASA engineers cited its terraforming tools in outreach events. Mayors across the US reportedly tinkered with ordinance combinations just to see what happens. The Teacher's Edition, bundled with lesson plans, floated through thousands of American classrooms, giving the term edutainment genuine gravitas. Its design rippled outward. Impressions Caesar 2 cloned the isometric grid and layering. Chris Sawyer studied SC2K's terrain brush before coding Roller Coaster Tycoon. The ordinance idea blossomed into paradox management mechanics in Tropico and Cities, Skylines. Even EA's more maligned 2013 reboot nodded back to SC2K by resurrecting contour-sensitive water tables, though few fans forgot which entry balanced complexity and charm best. Yet SC2000's success also trapped its own lineage. SimCity 3000 polished but simplified. SimCity 4 bloated into region play. Later reboots leaned on always online gimmicks. Many veterans still crown SC2K the sweet spot, deep but readable, optimistic yet punishing, pixel art warm enough to invite and granular enough to teach. Closing paragraph plus score boots SimCity 2000 today, perhaps with pixel-perfect scaling in DOSBox or via GOG's Windows wrapper, and its chiptune intro riff drops you into a neon sunset skyline as welcoming as it was 3 decades ago. Lay your first power line, adjust property tax by 0.1%, and watch residents materialize like pixels answering a civic prayer. 1 month later, you'll be debating youth curfews, plumbing hilltop mansions, and second-guessing whether that 250-bus depot belongs downtown or by the stadium. Then a UFO will carve a neon trench through your elevated rail line and you'll laugh, because every catastrophe in SC2K is also a design prompt, an invitation to rebuild smarter. Verdict: 9.6 divided by 10. No other builder captures such a perfect equilibrium between sandbox whimsy and sobering urban realism. It remains a master class in game-fueled systems thinking wrapped in a 16-bit art style that still deserves museum wall space. May your land value stay green, your pipes frost-free, and your bus depots forever shave minutes off commute time.